Good idea. Good idea.
So rather, originally.
Oh, yeah.
And Rob does.
Yeah.
He goes out sometimes during the week, sometimes on the weekend. A 15 minutes out there, save them from the sport.
Yeah.
We get it free from the.
Yeah. It can't beat that.
Thing is, John's probably whining, but take care of it. He's a softy like most men Indians. Never mind.
That's right. We're gonna go out of order. We're gonna do the public comment period, and then we'll go right to your resolution and ready to get out of here.
Okay. I know you don't want us in here any longer than possible, right?
All right, so keep on the end of the page.
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Public comment period first. Anyone would like to make a comment? All right, well, we'll have another public comment period at the end of the meeting. At this point, I'd like to move to read a resolution. Is that okay with everybody?
Resolution 31.
Resolution 31. Whereas an application for a plan development district PDD has been filed with the town of Coastal Hill Town Board by John and Sandy Schuhart seeking approval for a rezoning of an area comprising of approximately 56 acres from an RA to a plan development district located on the north side of New York State Route 355 and identified as the Schuhart PDD Windrift Meadows Senior Housing. And whereas the Schuhart PDD proposal, a maximum of 48 senior housing apartment units, age restricted to 55 years and older, located on a two-story apartment building with a max of 2 bedrooms, 70%, and 1 bedroom at 30% units ranging in size from 800 square feet to 1,300 square feet with associated parking and utilities. And whereas the town board directs that the coordinated environmental impact review pursuant to the State Environmental and Quality Review Act seeker be conducted with respect to the Schuhart PDD application. And whereas through a seeker lead agency coordination notice dated October 19, 2022, and town board notification notified all involved agencies as to the town board's intent to serve as seeker lead agents for this action. And I indicated that in the event no other involved agency stated a desire to be lead agency within 30 days of such notice, the town board will confirm its status as seeker lead agency for this action. And whereas the town board did not receive any objections from any other seeker involved agencies as to the town board's establishment of itself as a seeker lead agency for this action. And whereas accordingly, the town board seeks to establish that it shall serve as lead agency for the environmental impact review of this action under seeker. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Coastal Hill, in regards to session duty conveyed as follows: the town board of the town of Coastal Hill hereby designates itself as lead agency pursuant to the State Quality Review Act with respect to the Schuhart Plan Development District application. Okay. We just have a vote. That's all we have.
Just have a vote. So in general, this is the next step in the seeker process. We've gone through the lead agency coordination period, and this will formally declare the town board as lead agency. I know the town's review engineer is going through the EAF form of the supporting documents, coordinating with the project engineer. And this is simply the procedural step to declare this board as seeker lead agency.
Entertain a motion to establish ourselves as lead agency. Do I have a second? Sue, can you do a roll call vote, please?
Councilman Butler?
Yes.
Councilman Haas?
Yes.
Councilman Van Slyke?
Yes.
Councilman Oliver?
Yes.
Supervisor Hannon?
Yes. Thank you, everyone. All set?
Thank you very much.
Now, I have a question. Now, as far as like bringing up for, public,
Hearing,
hearing,
once they do the review, then.
Right, so the town code requires first that seeker be completed.
Okay,
okay,
And once that determination of environmental significance is made,
okay,
and seeker's completed, then the code says move forward
Forward
with
to a public
scheduling a
hearing.
public hearing
Okay.
on the
Okay.
district.
Excellent.
application.
now, do we have to come here for the seeker, or will that all just be within the town?
or within your.
You're welcome to come, but you don't really have to participate, that's it.
Yeah, that's.
That's
the
all
town's
between
review
the town and the
engineer. It's
engineers?
just coordinating with Mr. Hart. That's correct.
Okay,
And they're in communication. And I
Okay.
know the town's review engineer is working through those documents.
so pretty much the next time we have to come is when you guys schedule a public hearing?
Applicants are always within their discretion to come to the meeting.
Yes.
They're never gonna be able to.
As long as we're not like
And we're not like
this,
this,
right?
right, leave the cold
You never tell
home.
an applicant not to appear, but, at this
Okay,
point, it's
no,
the
that's
town
fine.
board's, job to get seeker completed as lead agency.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent,
Okay.
very good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Feel better.
We're gonna try.
Happy holidays to everybody.
Thank you. The next is the adoption of the town board minutes for the town of Crookston for November 10th, 2022.
So moved.
Have a second? All in favor? Thank you. Move.
Talk about some board minutes and what we're gonna do with the supervisor.
Do that in executive session.
Okay.
We have our correspondence, we have Charter and National Grid. National Grid is going to start updating on meters apparently, or attempting to update meters. Any questions concerning that? Okay, well, that brings us to liaison reports. Next is up is the planning board.
I'll be here later.
Steve.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, okay.
We had an exciting meeting, very exciting. Boring stuff, I think his last name is Ali, is looking to get a special use permit to have, I believe he's looking to get a duplex because he bought a house that had an apartment that didn't have a CO. All he needs to do is get a separate address for it. It looks like it's pretty straightforward.
I got to get health department approval too. I mean, get,
I thought he already got that.
he did, but that was one of the requirements.
Oh, I just mean, as of right now, all he had to do going forward was to get a separate address and stuff. So we'll have that public hearing next meeting. There's just an informational item for June. And the RPA came forward for their public hearing, and there was a lot of support from the community, but there were some concerns that were raised, mostly about encroaching on neighboring properties. Keith, you were there. Some neighbors are not super happy with what's going on. There's a decent amount of trespassing going on. So we tabled it. We voted to extend their temporary SUP, and next meeting, we're going to have an official meeting with them and some of the neighbors to try to rectify some of those issues. The most important one is I think it's the northernmost neighbor, Manny there, Dom. His driveway gets used as an access point for the forest there. It's like a weekly or bi-weekly instance. He's been harassed quite a bit, so we're gonna figure something out that doesn't make his entrance look like, he's going to a park. So, other than that,
Thank you, Steve. Next is zoning board. Do we have anyone from zoning board?
I'm here, but we did not have a meeting, so.
Fire company?
Calls for the month, we had 12 fire, 14 EMS, for a total of 26. 0 did not respond for the month. Year-to-date calls, 307. And calls did not respond to year-to-date, 7.
Dave, do you have October's report? I didn't get October's report.
Dave Rupert was supposed to he dropped it off. We didn't have it for that night. He was supposed to drop it off. I'll get another one.
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead, Steve.
I believe we got confirmation that Andy's gonna be at our next meeting because our planning board attorney is a member of the board of directors of Rensselaer Plateau. So he was a conflict and wasn't really able to answer all the questions that he needed to at the past meeting, so because it's almost a workshop, and I don't think he's able to attend next meeting anyway, Andy's gonna sit in.
Thank you, Andy.
Yep, I did speak with Laura today, and I'll attend the January meeting, and those application materials are gonna get sent over, so I'll be prepared for that.
I have a feeling the February meeting might be an issue as well.
Potentially with the conflict issue, the balance of the
Yeah,
agenda.
that would want to, I think, being the last public hearing, because I don't see this getting resolved in one meeting.
For the Rensselaer Plateau Alliance application, I'll continue on that.
Yeah, there's some serious legal questions that we need answers on.
That'll be fun.
No, I appreciate that.
It was a lot of fun. It was civil,
As they should be, so, yeah, we'll make one.
and we had a young attendee, my niece, she's 11, she learned a lot.
That you should know.
Kept her uncle in line.
She did, she kept my uncle in line, that's a hard feat.
I thought Tom handled it really well. It was emotional.
Library?
We had a really successful event on Sunday, the Holiday Lights Kickoff event. We had over 85 people, which was great. We used the town hall basement. Thank you, everyone, for craft activities, and we had all the rooms of the library full up, so that was awesome. And then we had a countdown to the actual lighting of the lights, so there was a big crowd on the lawn for that, which is kind of fun. And there's a Toys for Tots drop-off box in the library, if anyone wants to contribute to that, just so people are aware. And there's going to be a snowplow event, thanks to EJ. And at the end of the month, they're going to do a story hour, read stories about snowplows, and then go out in the parking lot and actually check out a snowplow. So,
Yep, I'm sure they'll love that.
so lots of good stuff.
Thank you. Youth Advisory?
We have a bus with Yankee Trails doing their Magical Express. There's still spots left for that. And I've started planning summer camp.
Very good. Anybody from the CAC? And then we'll move on. Discussion items. Harold, I have record room on here.
Yeah, Sue and I have an appointment with Mr. Martin, Michael Martin, on the 21st, and it'll be like a video type, Zoom type stuff. And that'll start us on our way to, what we need to do, hopefully. It seems like it's taking a long time.
We have budget codes. What do you want us to do with this, Tiffany?
So it's more just informational. So New York State puts out an accounting and reporting manual. It lists all the budget codes that towns are supposed to follow. So if you look at our zoning, it's going to be the same numbers in Brunswick or Skodak or Oneonta across the board. Our numbers currently do not match the accounting manual, so that just needs to be changes to that. So it's more just informational. The printout I gave you are the ones for water that will be changing. Like one of them was a zoning code that was connected to water. I can't tell you if it was mistakenly done that way or if they've just changed over time, because sometimes they change over time. But so those will just be changed, but it was more just an FYI.
Thank you. The next one is one I put in here for the town roof. Our roof is in tough shape. It leaks If you come here on any given day, you'll find parts of our roof on the parking lot pavement. It really needs to be addressed. I don't know the last time it was done, but I'd like to have some people come out and give us some estimates, and if it's reasonable, maybe use some COVID money to fix the roof,
You looking to fix it or replace it?
replace it. There's no fixing it at this point.
You just said fix, wasn't sure.
Same, I'm sorry, replace it. If you go in the office upstairs where Tiffany keeps all the stuff, you can look where have to keep the door shut to keep the bats out. That's the truth. If bats come in and you leave the door open. So, that's all right with everybody else. Start that process.
Since this time, are we going to figure
Yes,
out better?
yes, yeah, I have looked into a few different ones.
I think we mentioned that Tracy looked at the front door.
But yeah,
There's a major loss of energy. So
well, Tiffany's been trying to hunt down a guy to do some work in the front of our building here. We actually have a woodpecker hole in one of our pillars here. It needs to be scraped and painted. And the door needs some work done to make it airtight.
I think it needs to be.
I'd hate to replace an antique door like that. If we can fix it, I'd like to see the door remain. It's a 100-plus-year-old door. I think, well, I'll have somebody look at it.
Tracy and I looked at it. You could have something made very similar to that, with very efficient, that with no efficiency. And it just keeps the wind out, no temperature. It costs us a fortune year out.
Well, we'll have a couple guys in here and they'll give us some options and we'll.
Keith, when's the roof gonna go out to bid?
As soon as tomorrow. Well,
No,
we have
it's
to
not
pick
going
it.
up tomorrow.
We need to, we just, yeah, Tiffany, tomorrow. People can come tomorrow and look at it. As soon as tomorrow. Anybody that wants to come look at it can give us an estimate.
Is it something that has to officially go out to bid and get posted, or is it?
Depends on the price.
Yes, it'll have to go out.
Yeah.
To bid and
Likely it's
officially.
gonna be
You're
above
20
the-
grand anyway.
Right.
Easily. I mean, what's the rule on federal rate?
It needs to be prevailing wage.
Prevailing wage.
I would ask for different quotes. Standing seam is my lifetime, let alone your guys, not offending anyone here. You won't do it for another 100 years, especially because of the slope. You may want to consider that as an option for a quote.
We actually got quotes for the library for that, but it was just double what everything else was.
Oh, it is, the lifespan's triple. And what's the pitch on the library? Like on this one, you will never do it again, the building will fall down the floor. I would just be curious what it is.
Well, we'll do the same as we did with the library. We'll get a number of different kinds of roofs and then.
Was it all bigger companies that quoted it, or was it smaller?
Smaller companies.
There's a bigger company also. I spent 3 hours with the guy.
The big guys, you ask them for metal and they just jack the price. Some of the smaller guys can do it a little more reasonably.
Well, if you got some names, you got somebody that's interested in coming out and giving us
When are you looking to seriously get it done?
I don't know, the shingles is tough to do in the winter and have them stick.
Does it need to be done in the spring, or is it?
Well, if we have weather like this, you can do it, but if
We
it's
really
snowing,
want it done next year.
early spring. Eric, the website, is there any next one?
I just realized that I printed this stuff out for everybody to look at and I left it at the work. I'm a printer at work, so my fault. Tiffany shared the RFPs with everybody, without getting into details. This gentleman from town had reached out to me, and he used to work for the New York State Department of Health, and he's done a lot of bid work. He's retired now, and he's done websites. So he was willing to volunteer. So I took him up on his volunteerism, and he and I have been working back and forth and just kind of try to compare apples to apples with all the things we got. And he, to give him all the credit, did a really nice job and put this thing together. And I printed it out and left it at work. So I'll email it to you guys. But I guess my suggestion would be, I don't know if you want to wait to talk about this I don't think we have to talk about an executive session, but you tell me, is to maybe winnow it down to 2 or 3 and maybe have a Zoom call and talk to them. I have a few questions, but I also have to get with Tiffany on, because I don't really understand our email aspect of it and how we're gonna, either we keep what we have now and use something else, but we can all figure it out. So I promise I'll email that to you guys tomorrow morning. I sent it to you this afternoon. But it's kind of hard to, you're looking at a proposal that's 2 pages long, and one that's 74 pages long. And so just try to compare apples to apples. But that's
So you
kind of
have
my,
them all that you're gonna send?
so no, we created a document like 4 pages that just says like, company 1 proposed this cost, this is what they want to do, this is how they want to do it. Company 2 proposed this cost, you know what I mean? And then there's a chart so you can kind of follow it. But I've read them all, and some are, way more than we need. And there's, I think, 2 really good ones that we could, go to the next level and potentially ask questions if we want to. That's my thought. And maybe without volunteering Tiffany, and probably ask if she'd be willing to be part of those conversations too. Because one of the things I hadn't thought about was, because a couple of them came up with some different open source options that I wasn't thinking of. And I think something we should consider. So,
Well, we are going into executive session, so if you want to talk about something in executive session, we'll have
that's
that.
pretty much it. I mean, I think if that would be my recommendation, it's like, I'll share that thing with you tomorrow. I'm sorry, I forgot about that. I could make a recommendation on the 2 or 3 I would like to talk to, but if somebody else wants to talk to another one, we can certainly talk to them. I think Zoom makes the most sense. We'll just pick a night and do one at 7, one at 7:30, one at 8.
Okay.
And then the question then is, just a matter of timing. If we want to wait till January, we probably can let you know. We'll have a meeting first week in January. So we can pull this off in the next 3 weeks. And then maybe we have a decision and start going.
Okay, thank you. We have the assessor's report here.
No, hold on. You gotta approve training hours.
All right. We have a new deputy clerk, and she needs some training. I don't have what she's asking for hours.
I've been 20 hours.
What's kind of the word?
And she has to have training for the computer
Yeah.
system.
For everything, and then tax season will be starting within the next couple of weeks, so
20 hours total,
20 hours total a week.
a week
A week.
A week, I'm
for
sorry.
training.
Yes,
For how long?
well, then she starts, tax season will be starting the end of December.
And then she'll be actually hired to work.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So just out of curiosity, approximately how many weeks is training?
I just started this week,
And you've got
so it's probably 2
3 more weeks. You have 4 more weeks and.
Is it training in the house?
yes.
It's just that you want her to start like now for the 20 hours that we approved.
Right.
Yes, please.
Yep.
Yeah, because it's gonna
Yeah.
happen by the week of the 19th, taxes.
Right.
Taxes will be here by the week of the 19th, and I have to,
She has to be up and running by
yeah,
Well, I'll entertain a motion to approve 20 hours a week for 4 weeks.
So moved.
then. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All set.
thank you.
Okay, now I lost my place.
Now reports. Sorry.
All right. I spent an inordinate amount of time on the dog kennel issue. Did you get a chance to talk about it? At any rate, I talked to the county several times. I met with the town supervisor of Sand Lake and we toured the waste management facility, the building on the corner of 66 and 365. It needs work, needs quite a bit of work. But it would be a perfect location. That is actually the center of Rensselaer County. And we're looking to try and find a Rensselaer County central kennel for all the towns. As you guys know, that all the towns of Rensselaer County no longer use the Mohawk Hudson Humane Society anymore. So some of the towns are going to Vermont, some are going to Saratoga County, but we'd all like to do it within our own county borders. And that building.
You mean the
centrally
corner of
located-
66 and 351?
51.
Yeah. Okay.
Across from my shop,
Yeah.
that empty building in the
Yeah.
corner?
Which empty building?
Huh?
Which empty building?
Right there in the front corner. It's got a 3-bay garage
Right in
right in front.
That's Waste Management. They're willing to.
I talked to
Oh.
Warren, who's, he's gonna get back to me with what the cost would be to renovate it, and then the cost would it be for the county towns to pay into a lease.
Oh, okay.
But it's,
Sorry, I didn't interrupt you. So this is a problem that everybody's having, not just posting.
honestly, post that, it's
We're
less
fine
of a
now.
problem for us than anybody.
So Mohawk did this to everybody?
Yes.
I
Everybody
did see
but
a
the
news
city,
story about it.
everybody but the city of Troy and Rensselaer, and now the owners who take cats,
They're out of the business of
taking dogs.
taking dogs for the feed. Okay, that's fine. I did see it. I noticed that it wasn't just us.
No, it's every town in Rensselaer County.
So that's right across from my shop, so in addition to hearing garbage trucks bang, I'm gonna be listening to dogs howl.
It's not a howl, it's more of a song.
You're not gonna, I can't hear, more of a song, okay, not when I sing, then they howl. But I can't hear, I'm just kidding, because I can't hear it anyway with the noise in my shop.
We just thought that would be, it's already close to the highway. You already have Waste Management there. They've satisfied the neighbors with their facility. I don't think that the kennel will be a problem.
Compared to a waste management
Right.
facility.
And
Are they
they're
gonna-
willing to,
Are they gonna stop barking at 10 o'clock at night?
it's possible.
Possible.
We'll turn the lights out.
But probably not.
I don't think you'll hear
So I
me.
am gonna have to listen to that at night?
You're not gonna hear.
Really?
Only
during the summer. I mean, it's like 800.
Well, all right, put the buddies down as a problem.
I'm just saying.
There's other
Crazy
neighbors
shit
too.
Everybody else does. You know, like insulate the walls and stuff,
Yeah.
sort of like super insulate. Not really. a
We'll make
dog
sure you're
person.
part of the plan, Steve.
I'm just not a dog person, you know? I've been mauled by a dog, all my nieces have been
Whatever
mauled by
happened,
dogs.
whatever happened to Dawn's kennel? Are they still in business?
She doesn't want to do this anymore. She did do post goes for quite
Did
a
she
while.
sell it? Is she still there?
It's for
I
sale.
thought she moved, yeah. Or was moving.
Yeah, she lives in Florida for
She's- She's
I was in the county buy that from her. It's already set up. And it's out in the middle of nowhere, so people won't hear the howling too much, except for
Mhm.
You'll hear it? Really?
There you go.
You must be a half a mile away.
Well, don't say that.
Right through the wood.
Okay.
If June can hear it, I'm definitely gonna hear it.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm just saying.
Well, I spent a lot of time on it. The basketball court has been, the base was put in by Chip's company, and then Bro came in and paved it. I don't know where we are, but we're waiting on the school to get in touch with you for the.
Yeah, I haven't heard a thing.
Well, the hoops have been donated, the poles have been donated, and we're waiting for the school grounds crew, I guess you'd call it, to get in touch with DJ to dig the holes and pour the concrete. So that's where we're at.
Do they actually have the equipment?
Yeah.
It's delivered?
Yep. it's
Okay.
right there. All they're waiting to be put in the ground. All done by volunteers.
Better get that done soon, unless you want to wait till the spring.
Yeah, they're running out of time.
Tiff, when you get a chance, can you get me the names of how they want everything on the
Yes.
plaque? Because then I can do that over this winter too, and then
Perfect.
source the folder for the size of the plaque.
Okay.
Because it's probably $40. I'm gonna need a big folder.
A company by the name of Solar Simplified contacted me and I sat through their whole presentation this week. What they basically want is an endorsement from the town to sell solar panels to residents in town and have the endorsement of the town saying that they're the company that they should be using. It's basically what I get from it.
That to me sounds like a how about no.
$10 million, oh, that's all I want. That sounds like yes.
Yeah, that's like a no.
I thought there was some reason, but it just went by me.
That municipality should not be endorsing private business.
If you want to see their letter that they sent me today, it's up on my desk. It basically is an endorsement letter.
Promises made? A new county?
I met with Twin Town about, we talked last time about a possible pavilion being built there. Basically, what I get back from Twin Town is it's town property, we can basically do what we want. But they would like help with their concessions stand. It gets very muddy in front of where they're selling the concessions on a heavy rain.
Do we have a key to that gate?
Yes,
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
Because the Nymer guy was trying to inspect those concession stands.
he's all set.
And that's about it. Attorney's report.
Well, our first report, Keith, if you want to follow up on the kennel issue, I know Brunswick is interested, and we should reach out to either Bill directly or to Tracy, his assistant.
I did,
Right now, they have nothing in place thus far.
yeah, that's what I'm hearing from the county, that everybody's.
Route 7 would be a great place for a kennel, you know? You can't hear nothing with all that truck traffic, it'd be a perfect spot for a kennel.
Can I ask, you can train new, drug dogs.
Yeah, right, exactly. I'm just curious, was the whole cat thing like the straw that broke the camel back? Or like if we had said yes to the thing, would we still have the access? Or
Probably not.
It sounded like it was more of a business decision, which is kind
The
of.
direction that they're going is,
Is advocacy, not dog. and
but
cat.
they don't euthanize,
Right.
they don't. They're not going the direction they used to go.
Right, that's, yeah.
And it's,
I'm just saying, if we had gone with that.
I have my personal opinions of what's happened there. But I think they're misguided. I think that if the people that I know are involved were allowed to be involved here, you wouldn't be milking cows or riding horses, so.
Right.
It's,
So it's, yeah, that was my only concern, because obviously other towns did the same thing, but, yeah, that's fine. I was just curious, thanks.
So, aside from other routine matters, we did do a little follow-up with Highway Department on the CDL training, and that's still in process.
Yeah, I haven't gotten anything from him. He was gonna draft something up to give to us, but haven't got it yet.
Good. Working with the building department on the matter on Dennis Road.
I did send a letter.
Good.
And if we have to tow cars, it will be by Dells, not Waits.
So the letter that we drafted indicated they gave a period of time for that equipment to be removed, and if it's not, the town will remove it and charge the property owner.
Just so you know, though, even though we charge the property owner, doesn't mean we get paid. But we have to do something, we can't have cars blocking a public road.
Continuing to work on some tax exemption local laws. We've been coordinating with the county. We'll be following up with the assessor just to make sure in the new year, the appropriate veteran, age, and disabled tax exemption local laws are in place for the town. So that's continuing to be in progress. Looked at some planning board and zoning board training requirements. And advise the board accordingly. And that's it. We just confirm that we'll cover the planning board meeting for January and continue to cover.
Has Betsy spoke with you at all about the double billing for the library?
No, but I can tell you that it will be taken care of, but it's going to be some, because Brunswick School District does not want their library, or does not want the library bills, they want it to go to the town. So they're working, I don't want to say internally, but it sounds like between the school district and the town of Brunswick to get that taken care of, because it sounds like.
I don't care what they do, as long as they're not double billing.
It sounds like that switch, so when that switch happens as well, it'll also be taken off, because then it'll just be town bills.
Is everybody aware of what's going on?
That's you should coordinate with Julie, Eric, or Brunswick, just to make sure that gets done.
Okay, I know they're talking with, I'm gonna tell you the wrong name in the school district, I think Stephanie, but I could be making
No,
that
it's
name.
Stephanie.
Okay.
Brunswick, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so
Yeah.
they've been talking with Stephanie, and I think they are gonna take the lead on in dealing with it.
Are you clear on that, ma'am?
Next, we have the town clerk's report.
During the month of November, the town clerk took in $7,017.40. Of that amount, $5,675.33 was turned over to the supervisor.
Okay, motion to accept.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. The next is the assessor's report. You have what Tiffany's been, or Betsy's been working on. We just had a little overview of the tax billing for the library that she's been working on as well. Bob, you're up next, water manager.
Good, you have a copy of my detailed report. There are a couple of good things I would like to share with you. You've heard me talk all year about our testing, THM's problem was caused not by us. Well, I just completed 24 individual tests, take care of the whole year now. And we're better than last year. For example, THM's come in at 66.93 relative to an 80 MCL. Significantly better. We haven't been that good in a long time. Also, the HAA 5, these are the two very important ones. Our results for the year are 31.6 versus 60. So testing wise, we're doing real good. Everything else is moving along pretty well. I did give each of the town board members a PFAS, and all of those are really coming into more of a light right now. I gave you the link to a Saturday 10 to 11 website presentation if you choose to be on that. The EPA just notified us today, actually. It's going to have minimum impact on us because it's going to be more for SWIPs and NPDs and that kind of stuff. But they're going to have to measure the PFAS content in groundwater, okay? At this point, it's a suggestion. I think the biggest impact has to be an awareness on our part of the people that are using SWIPs. So I'll try to make those individuals aware of that. Information to schools, as you may or may not know, the backward bottled water, they're on their wells now, so they're moving in the right direction. We're in the process of taking the billing next week for the fourth quarter and giving it out to SIP. I've talked in the write-up, but I would like to explain to you. This is the antenna that we put in over the last 12 years into we had the customer pay for their own installation. It's connected to the water meter. These are going bad. So far, in this last month, we've just completed 15 of them. They're on my desk right now. We were able to get the Mueller company to give us new antennas. They cost $100 each. So that's a good deal. Between Sue, myself, and Rob Young, we contacted. The way this works, when I go out, for example, this Wednesday, take the billing, I will get a number of no reads. Probably 15 based upon the last one. What that means is that the batteries, and when they design these things, they should, in my opinion, they should have had a replaceable battery, but they're not replaceable. So when they go bad, you can't read them. We will continue to handle it. Now, we're getting these at no cost to the town. But importantly, we really do focus on trying to keep our resident costs down. It would have been easy to say, here's the new ones, go replace them. We're not doing that. We make the arrangements. Rob gets in. By the time he gets in and out, for the most part, it's 15 or 20 minutes. So in addition to his other work, we've been able to handle that. We're going to continue at no cost to the resident. So
Why don't they make a hardwired one? Why does it have to run on a battery? Eventually, a battery, no matter what, is going to die.
The new ones are the same way. They have no option on it. As an engineer, I gotta tell you, when I first saw that, I said, that was 10 years, 12 years ago. It's ridiculous. They should have a replaceable battery on it. They can't. The only thing we do is it's bell wire in here. We cut it, three wires. We put Scotch jelly-filled connectors on it, press them together, and that's it. The biggest problem is getting access to the basement, and some of the old wood is hard, but we're working on it. No, not a problem. The bottom line on this is gonna be around for years, this workload. Not a big deal, but it's gonna come in little by little by little. I can figure at least 15 every quarter. So you put that, we've got almost 500 out there now. And if you figure 15 a quarter, that's 60 a year. Each year, we're gonna continue to do that. There's no answer. I've questioned, is there another type of battery and the intent of this replacement? There isn't. So I see this as an ongoing forever kind of thing. Because the ones we're putting in right now are gonna die in 10, 11 years. Okay, does anybody have any question on that? Other than that, frankly, I have to share this with you. We were scheduled to have an operational review by Prince County. The last they did it was in 18, field, paperwork and everything else. And I was talking with the person who was going to do the review and was told specifically, Bob, you guys have run a good shop out there. We're not going to do it for another year. That's better than the alternative. So I think everything is going as good as it possibly could. Knock on wood. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. You have Tracy's report. We did just hear about a letter that you sent to a resident of Dennis Drive about walking on our town road and making it difficult for his neighbors to get to their own homes. Tracy's not feeling well tonight, so he's not here. Which brings us to DJ's report, highway.
Nothing to add other than the report that was submitted.
Nice.
Yeah, you're not good.
You did.
All right, well, we have transfer amendments to be made. I can just read the transfer amendments and vote at the end. Is that all right with everyone?
Well, it's all right with me, but I think she put it in the form of a resolution.
Yeah, I got it that way.
Okay.
Be it resolved, the following transfers are made to the 2022 budget from two in the amount. DA-5142-1 snow, to DA-5110-1 general repairs, $6,181.99. $61,815.99. DA-5130.2 machinery to DA-5130-4 machinery, $7,466.04. A 1990 A contingent to A1910-4 insurance of $409. A 1990-4 contingent to A5182-4 streetlights for $3,047.17. W 1990.4 contingents to W8340-41 chlorine for $217.98. W contingent 1990-4 contingent to W8320-41 electricity for $679.73. Be resolved that the following budget amendments are made to the 2022 budget. The foregoing resolution is offered by, do I have a motion? Do I have a second? So we do an oral.
Councilwoman Butler? Yes. Councilman Haas?
Yes.
Councilman Rensley?
Yes.
Councilman Wallaber?
Yes.
Supervisor Hand?
Yes. All right, that brings us to the payment of the bills.
I move that we pay the town and highway bills of $36,563.73.
All in favor? All
And then-
opposed?
And then move that we pay the water bills at $68,494.03.
All in favor?
Aye.
That brings us back to, public comment period. Is there anyone that would like to comment that didn't have an opportunity to comment earlier?
I would if nobody else. Go ahead.
For year 2023, how we're doing on the storage fittings for the fire.
Well, we didn't change anything from our previous budget. We're doing 10. I mean, at some point, we could probably talk about it when we get closer to the end of the COVID money and talk about maybe using some COVID money, or maybe even making a budget transfer. But we can revisit any time during the year.
Just had to ask. You don't ask. you
How many are
don't
we
ask.
still short? Do you think we know?
Probably, you figure about probably 150, 160?
I would say.
Can you give us a report next month that tells us how much it would cost to replace all of them at once?
Well, Bob has the numbers. He's the one that purchased them, so.
We've got a total of, including the new developments, but they're paying for theirs.
Yeah.
Right.
So we have about 185 outstanding, and we probably have 50 of those, with the Sports Connectors. Sports Connect was 125 each, so 125 times
160?
125.
See, the problem with using COVID money for that is it doesn't service everybody. It only services people within the water district, so.
No, but you got water district money, right? Which,
Yes and no.
that should be used, for that, for the people in the water district.
Well, I'll put it on the agenda for next month and we'll,
Actually, it does service the whole.
I know,
thing.
but it's not,
Because
For fire.
if we get a fire somewhere else that doesn't have fire hydrants, and we're tanking water, we're tanking from the nearest hydrant, so it does serve, you can use the COVID.
well, we can look at it. It's kind of been hanging over our heads and
Just
maybe
a
we
thought,
should
that's all.
deal with it and be done with it.
I just did it in my head. Is it somewhere around $17,000? I mean,
About right, 16, 17.
that's not a tremendous amount of money.
I'll put it on the agenda for next month's meeting, and we give it a little bit of thought. Maybe we can just put it to bed next month.
So I do have just one thing. When thinking about the town's website, I decided to learn some stuff that I hadn't learned before. One is using a system called WordPress to design websites, and I'm sure he's very familiar with it now. Maybe he's seen some of the proposals. And in the process of doing it, I had a web domain already set up for the Postonville Post, thinking the town someday could have it in online newspaper. I was originally thinking of printing it, but the mailing costs are excessive, so that went out the window. But I set it up and I kind of played around with it, and it's really not a hard thing to use. And I think maybe some people would think it would be a good idea for us to have essentially a local newspaper, even if it's only online. But I certainly wouldn't have the time to do it. I'd need volunteer editors. But the site is totally free. I have it as part of my web package, and it wouldn't cost the town or anybody any money. And we wouldn't have to pay anybody to do anything. So if anybody's interested in working on it or having me pursue this a little further, I'd be happy to. So just get in contact with me. But I mean, we don't have something to announce weddings and births and all the kinds of typical stuff that a local newspaper has. And people in this town don't know anything about the basketball court other than what they would see at the town board meetings. I wrote an article called Tom Turkey about Tom Russell buying all the turkeys and distributing them for Thanksgiving. And I think he's now going to become Tom the Ham. He didn't respond to my email, so I can say it publicly now, because I asked him for a picture of him with a turkey, but I couldn't get one. So I got a wild turkey in mail, and I think it looks pretty good.
We can Photoshop that. We can make that work.
Put his head on it? I like
Figure
it.
something out.
So he's going to turn into Tom the Ham, because he's going to also be buying hams for people for Christmas, funded by the business association, but he's doing all the legwork, and I thought that was a newsworthy story, so I put that up just as a prototype. So if anybody's interested, let me know, and if not, it's just a playground to fool around with WordPress. But it is a very easy to use system. It requires a few hours of playing around to get it, but in some ways, if we had enough people involved, we wouldn't have to hire a professional, but the burden would be on those people to keep it maintained, and that's kind of tricky. So I think we should look at these options. And I don't, but for a local newspaper, I think it's perfect. So.
Keith, just one more comment I would like to share with you. You just approved a final 6 month payment to Troy and to Brunswick for our water. As a result, Bill Bradley was amazed. As a result of our leak detection efforts that you've heard me talk about, we saved over $8,000. So a little effort, get big returns.
Well, I have Steve and Tom here. The number I have for hams is 13. We were 3 short on the turkeys. It wasn't anybody's fault, but the list that we had is divided between Kiwanis and different organizations. And 3 people somehow got left off of all the lists. So the last day we had to scramble to get dinners together for 3. So instead of being 9, it's 12.
Okay. That's not bad. How much are the hams this year?
Tom?
Right now, it's like 89 cents a pound.
Same as turkeys.
The turkeys were 47.
No problem.
Okay. Any other public commentary? Nothing? Well, thank you everyone for participating. We are gonna need a executive session tonight. I don't believe we're gonna take any official action coming out of it, but we do need a motion to go into executive session. And a second? All in favor? Easy, I'm gonna try and get a hold of the school tomorrow. I actually tracked them, they do have a track hole, by the way.
Oh, do they?
Yes.
Well, they need help still.
Keith,
They were worried
are
if they
you,
were 6 feet deep. I know that was.
ready for your State of the Union, State of the Town address in January?
You bet I am.
All right. So it's still on tomatoes.
I started typing stuff out a week ago.
Good.
Oh, sure.